Well, I just finished making what I thought was a great video, uh, but I had forgotten to turn it on. So here's the video. I should be outside working, cleaning up, trying to clean up my messes. But I just looked at Huffington Post, and I look at these different news feeds, and sometimes when I'm not feeling very charitable, I say, well, what are those silly buggers doing now? But I try to always look for the worst story and read it and then try to let myself feel the fear and the anger and the frustration and all that or the gee whiz, that's great, and just allow myself to feel it without judging it. Well, maybe I like it, I don't like it, that's a judgment. Uh, and the first thing I saw was Huffington Post going on a rant about President Trump playing golf while the COVID death count is nearing 100,000 in U.S. And I got so angry at them. It was great. And I was talking to the screen. I said, "Hey, cut the guy some slack. He needs to take a break. He's under a lot of pressure." And so the guy takes a golf game, and so it costs a lot of money to have Secret Service guys staying in fancy rooms and driving around in golf carts and all that stuff. Yeah, it could be better, but let's cut each other some slack. Like if I expect you to be perfect, then part of me expects me to be perfect. And I know I can't be perfect. And if you want to find out you can't be perfect, have a stroke, have heart failure, have somebody die because of something you did, have a pile of heart attacks, get a heart operation, and it'll teach you a whole lot of stuff. And so let's cut each other some slack. We're all doing the best we can. And, I may not like it. You may not like my best shot today. My best shot today may not be my best shot tomorrow. And certainly my best shot with anything is nothing compared to what I used to be able to do. But the thing is, I think I'm more human now. And so I want to also tell you about this experience I had last night. Old people don't sleep a lot. And I'm really lucky that I'm still alive and my sweetie is still alive. And we get to touch feet at night, and it's nice to kind of hear her snoring a little bit. Um, and sometimes I get so emotional about it, I cry in gratitude. And then, occasionally I think, God, one of us is going to die, and oh, God, I feel terrible. But then I think, well, right now it feels great. It smells great, like I love her smell. I wish she loved my smells, but anyway. So here I was, and I was just lying there, and then the COVID virus came to me. And I said, well, hello. And I tend to do that with anything I'm afraid of. I try to face it and sort of stay calm and carry on. And so COVID virus and I had a great conversation last night. And this is what it was about. And that was, I said, so what's with you? You're killing a lot of people. You're scaring a lot of people. You are bringing everybody together because everybody's suffering. But like, what good are you? What's your gift? And you know what? You know what it said? It said, hey, I am fighting viruses. And it just, I laughed. I laugh in my sleep and wake up June sometimes laughing. And when I calmed down, I said, hey, what viruses are you fighting? You are a virus. Oh, yeah, viruses fight viruses. And so I said, well, what kind of viruses are you fighting? And she said, well, greed, not being, not being present, being unaware of suffering that is caused, Even even I am teaching people that it's okay to suffer. Wow. And that when people learn how it's okay to suffer, then all of a sudden they become less judgmental about people who are suffering. Because you know what? Most people who are embarrassed about their suffering, what do? They blame other people for for the suffering they're going through. And they say, oh, if they weren't weak, or if they weren't stupid, or if they weren't this, or they weren't that, they wouldn't be suffering. Well, hello, look at your own suffering and see how somebody else's suffering looks after you've suffered. Try it. And the other thing was, and I said, but what about all the people that are dying and the kids whose parents are dying and they're orphans, or, you know, God, that's a pretty heavy trip. And you know what the COVID virus came back with? It came back with this amazing thing. And again, I kind of woke up, like I was awake, but I went, oh, it was such a big awareness. And the awareness that I was given was, what's wrong with death? What? And the COVID virus showed me that, you know, all these people of all religions think, oh, the world's coming to an end, and we'll all go to heaven and the Messiah will come and all this kind of stuff. Sidebar on messiahs. I think there's lots of messiahs right now. But anyway, back to the story. So they said, yeah, you know, you die, you know, because your mother told you, and you've been on that path, that when you die, you get to meet your ancestors and your loved ones and your angels. People will get to meet Jesus and be with Jesus, and be with Mohammed, and be with Buddha, and be with the great Creator, and be with the great spirits of the mountains, whatever is sacred to them. And then after a while, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, I'm ready for more lessons, and they reincarnate. And I believe we reincarnate as human beings, or blades of grass, or grasshoppers, or rocks, and that everything is divine, everything is sacred. Okay, so I've got to get off the thing here. Just a second. Can I call you right back?
No problem.
Thanks. That's my other phone. I don't know where I was. So if this has helped you, please pass it on. I'm giving myself to you as a gift, right or wrong, warts and all, crazinesses, etc. You know, and everybody's doing the best we can right now. And, you know, let's stop wedging everything and dividing everything, and let's get together. And the other thing the COVID diet said was, or the COVID virus said, was, you know, a lot of people are going to wake up and they're going to say, oy, was I wrong? And, you know, I just, and I hope that everybody feels brave enough to say, it's natural to make mistakes. And I made a mistake, whatever the mistake is. I mean, try admitting your own mistakes and loving yourself for making the mistake. You can be sad you made the mistake, but make enough mistakes and you'll get to be compassionate with yourself. So compassion for others, compassion for yourself and me. And so that's it. And you know, anything you've got that can help out, now's the time to bring it forward. You got some extra money, put it to good use. Put it to helping somebody else. We don't know if we're going to be alive. What good is it going to be if I've got $20 and I die? And nope. Anyway, but we'll talk about that later. So and share your stories if you know somebody if you've had the virus, and if other people have had the virus, then and you know their story, then tell what works, what you're learning, what works to help you get over the virus. I think that's a valuable thing to know if you want to get over the virus. And I asked my friend Jennifer today, I said, how did you get over the virus? And Jennifer said she's been over it, no fever for a month. And she said that she was so frightened and so angry. She likes to get angry. She had no energy, and she had a fever, and she knew she was like tripping her brains out with hallucinations and stuff. And breathing, she said, it was impossible. She said it felt like and she was panicking. So she discovered that if she could meditate in lots of different ways, it helped her stay calm. And she luckily knows some ways to meditate. And sometimes she said she would try to empty her brain, and other times she would just say the same thing over and over, like God is love, or God is love, or God is love, or and sometimes she would just watch herself breathing, and sometimes she would be lying on her side, sometimes she'd be sitting up, sometimes when she had the energy, she would walk around in circles in her little home, and I thought, boy, we better start collecting things that other people have learned and how they got through this stuff. And I know people have told me about breathing stuff, about don't lie down on your back. And I've tried it. It's easier if I lie on my side or I lie on my belly, or I'm sitting up, or I'm a little, head up. Breathing's easier. So good thing to know. Good thing to know that you got to ask for help. Otherwise, you're just going to get crapped out. And that's asking for help from people that you don't think that can help you, but you ask them anyway because they might be able to. And then letting them know that you're going to pay back the favor 3 times. You're going to keep the energy of caring and of love. You're going to keep that going. So that's today's rant. Thank you, Huffington Post, for taking a swipe at our president. God, it'd be nice if all these people was taking swipes at one another and say, hey, look it, because I think every time somebody takes a swipe at me, there's part of me believes they're right. I don't like the feeling. I remember when President Obama gave Mr. Trump a hard time at some big party at the White House, and I thought, President Obama, that's very unbecoming behavior. I mean, you're trying to make this guy feel bad. What kind of cruelty is that? And clearly, President Trump, although he may not even have been aware of it, he looked like he felt like it wasn't good for him. He didn't like it. And it's like, let's not do things to each other that people don't like. Let's be nice to one another. And by the way, there are a whole lot of people that need a whole lot of help right now. So if you get on the computer and you look around, you'll find small ways. Maybe it's send $3 or send a used blanket to some of the places in the world right here in America. Like people are starving to death. People don't have enough clothing. They don't have enough gasoline, et cetera, et cetera. And each one of us can do something about it. And my God, I've gone on for 14 minutes. So thanks a lot. Okay?